Hey, it's you, buddy. It's you, pal. Mr. Nice Guy. Welcome back. College Football 26. As you know, I haven't been doing a lot of series or anything like that. Just kind of bringing you guys in when I run into something a little exciting or a little interesting. And I've run into something again. I believe the last time we came on, it was an Alabama-Auburn SEC championship. Alabama just cruised right past them. And here we are with an Alabama-Auburn Sugar Bowl. And this, of course, is the quarterfinals in the college football playoff bracket. So very interesting. We haven't played Auburn in the regular season in a while. Just the way this thing rotates and goes, there's no protected, in this world, there is no protected rivalries, so we haven't played Auburn. Auburn did host Michigan in the first round, and they came away big winners, 35-14. In the SEC championship game, we faced Georgia, which is very interesting. Georgia got in because they only had one conference loss, and they actually beat Auburn earlier in the season. But when it comes to team performance, Auburn was actually the better of the two. If you look here, we are absolutely cruising and crushing people. 640 points scored by our offense, 203 points allowed by the defense for a 437-point difference, a 33.6 margin of victory. And when you look at everyone else, it kind of falls in line. There's some double digits and stuff. But when you look at Georgia, who we faced, 11-2, pretty good. Good overalls and stuff. Not the best points for, 432, respectable. 315 points against defense, giving up some points, 9-point margin of victory average. Then you take a look at Auburn, 541. Ole Miss right here kind of coming up from behind, getting the number 2 scoring offense in the conference. But Auburn with the number 2 scoring defense, allowing just a few more points than us. 25-point margin of victory for Auburn, only an 86 overall, but performing very, very well. There's our old team, the Troy Trojans, who we helped move into the SEC. They've been just kind of hanging around. They're in the top. They're not the cream of the crop, but they're up there in the top in the SEC. This season, we are led by one heck of a Heisman winner, Kenyon Otis, running back, setting records, 2,448 rushing yards, 36 rushing touchdowns to go along with 363 receiving yards. And as you can see, our quarterback is also on the list. This is his first year starting at Alabama, maybe his only year, 96 overall. He's first-team All-American, first-team All-Conference, fourth on the Heisman voting, 12 interceptions. But the reason he's up so high, 3,280 passing yards and 680 rushing yards. He's been a great quarterback for us. This could be his one lone season with us at a 96 overall. He is eligible for the draft. Hopefully we can get him to stay. But it's been a great season. And there's one player I don't want to skip out talking on. You know me, I play offense. I might dabble a little bit in defense here and there. I've done a series on here as a defensive coordinator and played defense and put up some incredible numbers. Had a defensive Heisman Trophy winner, but I really like playing offense. That's where I play well. We're going to talk about one other thing too. This right here, this is our true blue backup quarterback here, Bo Hilleman. Pretty good. Dual threat, 6'4", 229. We got in a little bit of a pickle in the season. Our starting wide receiver went down. We had some pretty good wide receivers, but none of them had really great speed. It's not going to show on here. I'll show it to you here. We took Mr. Hilleman on the depth chart. He actually shows up as a wide receiver, so we put him in at wide receiver. He's played pretty well. He's filled in pretty well. Let's take a look here. The only way we can actually see the statistics is if you come right here. There's your career passing stats. We don't care about that. Let's go to receiving. 7 games played, 12 receptions, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's got some speed. He's a deep threat for you. 6'4", good size. But that's not who we came here to talk about. Here's who we came to talk about. The man quietly having one of the best seasons that I've seen in a while. Nick Snelling. Sophomore redshirt, 90 overall. Hopefully he'll come back next year. He has actually had a great season this year, and he had a pretty decent season last year. He's not even the starter when it comes to the position. He is what's the word I'm looking for? He's a starter, but when it comes to rushing downs, or when it comes to pass rush, he is the pass rush starter. He's not the overall starter at right to edge. There's actually somebody that's better than him. But his pass rush abilities came to light last season when he stepped into that role as a redshirt freshman. 12 sacks last season in 13 games. This year, he's even better as a redshirt sophomore, 26 sacks, set an Alabama record for sacks in a season. Hoping we can get him to stay for his junior redshirt season next year and maybe can set the career sacks record. 32 tackles for a loss to go to. Just quietly on the defense, I haven't been using him. I haven't been playing with him. He put those numbers up all by himself. As you can see, got pocket disruptor, duress. Takedown, we just upgraded to gold. Workhorse, team player. Got platinum for workhorse and team player. Gold there on the takedown. Hopefully that will help him in the playoffs. We've had a pretty good recruiting season. We won't go much into it. It's just kind of, it's almost on autopilot. Almost on autopilot. We didn't get all the recruits this year. We did lose some 5 stars here and there, but we filled things in. Job offers. I have been toying with the idea of taking Coach Parker and just telling folks, look, I built a program at Troy. It was great. I came here to Alabama to try to help them rebuild, but I'm just ready to go back to that small school atmosphere. I don't see any good offers here this season to do it. It's the second round where you'll see some of the small school stuff. I'm not going to go be an OC for anybody. It's going to have to be a head coaching position. Appalachian State's there, but I want something a little smaller, and I actually want to get something that's out west. We've coached at Troy, and I've coached at Alabama. I want to get out of the Southeast. I want to go out west. Maybe a school in the Mountain West somewhere would be interesting. Boise State was up there, but I think in this world I have them in the Pac-12. Let's take a look at that real quick. We did rebuild. I love to just rebuild the Pac-12. It makes more sense to me. Boise State, yes, they are in the Pac-12. Their head coaching spot was open, but that's another Power 5 conference. It could be interesting to go out west and play in the Pac-12, but I want something small. So let's jump in here. Alabama, Auburn, Sugar Bowl. That's what this whole stream is about. It is the game of the week. We are 99s across the board. They are 86s across the board. So you would think that we should be able to just come in here and cruise and crush them. But I've told you guys time and time again, the overall numbers, the overall like that looks fantastic. Huge offset there. But it comes down to the abilities of some of these players. We've got our young redshirt sophomore defensive end who's just playing that pass rush role. 26 sacks at a 90 overall, but it's because he has those abilities and they're upgraded. Our running back, he's not a 99, but he has some abilities that have upgraded. So you can get a lower overall player. If they come with these abilities, they're going to be the difference maker for you. Those abilities are going to make a difference. Some rain moving into the Houston area. All right, there's Albee. So we're getting into it. Yep, we're playing offense. 38-yard punt by Auburn. They did not score. They did burn up some time, meaning they had the ball a good while. Here comes this Alabama offense. Otis, the Heisman Trophy winner. Kirkwood, a Heisman finalist, comes on here. Now, the big thing with Otis, what's made him so explosive is his speed. I've taken to upgrading people's speeds in the off season and found that speed is the name of the game. Speed and explosiveness. I've gone very Al Davis. We want the speed, people. That's what we want. We want the speed. Including the speed with the quarterback. Tries to make him miss, but can't. Kirkwood there, I believe his speed is north of 90. Otis's speed is 96, I believe. He gets free. He can outrun most corners. There's some that can catch him, but he can if he gets open and running, he's going to outrun most of your corners. We have some great tight ends. We run a pro style offense, so I recruit tight ends. Tight end depth, we've got two that are great. They're both pure blockers, which has probably made a huge difference in our ability to run the ball. They're both 99 overall, I believe. I have two pure blocking tight ends that are 99 overall, but they can get out and catch the ball. I have spent a little of their offseason skill points on speed. So they're not great route runners. They're not going to run deep. You know, they're not going to run a deep route and outrun a linebacker. But they're going to get open, and they've got good catching ability. Whoop. There you go. Correa was our starting wide receiver who did get injured. I was hopeful that last season we had a Heisman Trophy winning wide receiver who was a contested specialist. I was hoping that Correa was going to be the second coming of that guy. He's been good, especially when we get in the red zone. We run some of these RPOs or play action. He's been good to catch that ball right there at the line. But he has definitely not been... Oh, Auburn getting the pressure on us. He has not been the second coming of that wide receiver we had last season. That wide receiver took off and went to the NFL, so... Kirkwood has been good, but on some of these deep throws, he does miss. And that was an attempted deep throw to our backup quarterback. Ooh, good spin move there. So our backup quarterback wears number 8. He is also a dual threat guy, so his speed's actually a little bit better. He is currently sitting as the third wide receiver on the depth chart. Looks like Troy. I saw down at the bottom, Troy made it through the first round, so they are taking on Pittsburgh, Colorado USC there. I don't like that pass. That screen did not work out well. On the move. Rocking that number 4, trying to look like Jalen Milroe. Not quite as built as Jalen, but he's got the speed. A little bit better of a passer, but he's got, I would say where Milroe had that accuracy on the deep throws, Kirkwood's got those accuracies on his shorter passes. Yeah, just trying to make that deep throw. Get Georgia Duke on the other side. Winner of that will face the winner of this game. Five-yard carry there. Auburn is definitely keeping our offense in check for the moment. We've seen this before. 4-2, we are not going for the field goal here. Oh, the tight end drops it. As I told you guys, you could look at the overall of a team, but if they've got great players with great abilities, some of these special abilities... 58, man. What are you doing? Why did you stop on the route? There we go. There we go. There we go. Nice little crossing routes there. Looks like we're going into the second quarter. No, we are already in the second quarter. Boy catching the ball there, our buddy, Mr. Oldham, he's supposed to be the speed guy, so I don't know how he got caught on that one. Good run there. Correa is the higher overall between him and Oldham, but Oldham has got the speed. Get out of bounds. There we go. Out of bounds. Oh, I don't like this play. Hang on. Here we go. We can go. That's a timeout for an injury already. I guess timeout there. Nope. Oh, my God. I'm going to challenge that. All right, yep. That is one thing that I would like to see them change here in college football. Madden, if you get a moment, like we're just playing offense, if you get a moment where the play is going to be reviewed, it will not superset. Back. Good throw. All right. Auburn's defense. I mean, you saw it. I mean, we saw it. The points allowed, they've had a good defense this year. They've had a good defense. Where's the pass interference? All down at the 16. They've got a good defense, but we also have a good defense. So this is a full-on defensive battle here. There we go. There, let Otis get that speed, baby. Third and inches. We have over 100 yards now for Otis. Our play action, man, our play action is terrible. Boom, baby. There we go. Auburn's going to drive right down there and score, too. Goodness gracious. This is actually the battle of the two best teams in the SEC right here. This is the battle of the real two best teams. This is the SEC championship here. Yeah, I mean, that was worth a shot. I saw that safety come crashing down from that side. I'm like, all right, it's going to be one-on-one out there. We got our backup QB running the route. Back. Man. You know, we might look at moving him to wide receiver in the offseason. We'll just have to see how the offseason plays out. Field, look at that. They weren't expecting the run there. Boom. That should be pass interference. Oh, my God. I get way too dependent on that route. Otis, man. We get some good blocking, and Otis is just gone. They were all up on that. It's the backup quarterback. Hey, I mean, you give him space to get open like that. If he's got a wide open catch, he's gonna catch it. Otis staying on his feet. 21 carries, 186 yards. He is pushing hard for that record. We got it. We are not putting the ball in the air down here, I'll tell you that much. It's not working to our advantage. Right up the middle. Right up the middle. Touchdown. That's ball game. That's ball game. That was a tight one. I told you Auburn was good. We looked at their points scored and the points given up. They're a good football team. Pay attention to the teams that you're playing. Don't look just at the overalls. Look at the abilities. Look at how that team has performed in the sim. Georgia, I can show you. When we played Georgia, we crushed them. We absolutely crushed them. I think we had the backups in at some point. We'll go take a look at that. You know, we cruised against Georgia. Single season record, rushing record, national. Kenyon Otis breaks the national record. Breaks Alabama's rushing record. Broke the SEC rushing record. He's got all these records, all in his name. There we go. Sugar Bowl winners. Appreciate it. Let me just show you. We'll just take a look. So Georgia, better overalls. Team doesn't perform well. 45-7. We crushed them. Auburn, 86 overall. Team performs really well. Good defense. And you see how it turned out, 21-14. So it's not all about the overalls. And that's what's crazy. But it's real in life. It's not about all the overalls that you have. It's about how well that team performs together. That Auburn team is much better than the Georgia team. You can see we've just been cruising and crushing everybody. Arkansas gave us a pretty good run, 38-17. You know, Texas A&M was a shootout. But then everybody else, especially Florida, 65-17. We just crushed Florida. But yeah, that's it. All right, that's what I was coming on here for, was the Alabama-Auburn Sugar Bowl. Anytime we come up and we face a big-time rival in a bowl game, in a college football playoff, in the conference championship game, it's awesome. It's awesome. I remember that there have been a few times where they talked about Alabama, Auburn. These two teams, there is a possibility that they could play each other 3 times in a year. Once in the regular season, they could both end up at the conference championship game the very next week and then face each other in the college football playoff. We've played them in the regular season on here before. I've played them in the conference championship game. And now this is probably, if I remember correctly, the first time I faced them as Alabama in the college football playoff. Lots of fun. Still loving the game. Can't wait for college football 27. Looking for some big upgrades, some big changes. Hoping for that. But it could just be what Madden has been in the past, copy paste, and every few years the fans start to get fed up and they make some changes. We'll have to wait and see. But till next time, it's your buddy, it's your pal, Mr. Nice Guy. I'll catch you later.